Big old box.
In a big old box. That's actually quite damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So, my stepmother's, I'm on it. I'm calling UPS right now. I'm going over there. I'm on it. I'm taking care of this. Don't worry about this. I got it.
Okay.
So, I thought about it for a minute. I said, I got this. Don't worry about it. So, I start tweeting. And you know me. I'm not big on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But I love Twitter.
I know.
Some of the funniest people on Twitter.
They are. But
mm-hmm.
I just don't tweet as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do know that if I do tweet, it usually gets a pretty decent response.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's what I did. I put out this Twitter. I was just like, hey, I got this box, blah, 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 blah. Lo and behold, some miserable soul has stolen my baby's snacks. By the way, she's only a year old.
Mm-hmm.
And my baby's shoes, right? My nephew's shoes. And so I used the hashtag, who stole the baby snacks?
Because who would take snacks?
Because, we get it. We upset about the shoes. But seriously, who is stealing snacks from a baby? There was some Gerber Puff snacks.
Yeah, I know you're talking
and the yogurt milks. Like, who is stealing it, right? So, immediately UPS starts responding to me and was just like, oh my goodness, we're so sorry this has happened. We're going to investigate. We don't know what happened. We can see how this would be very frustrating, blah, 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 blah. So, I'm on the phone with them like all night long until the very next morning. Mm-hmm. Going back and forth. They want the details of the snacks, how much they cost, the details of the shoes, how much they cost.
Details of the snacks.
Yes, was it one can of snacks or multiple cans of snacks? How much do you think it was valued at? I was like, well, the shoes were like $109. The snacks were $6. Mm-hmm. Was it just one can of snacks? No, it was 2 puffs and a yogurt milk. I think it was like 3 for $6. I don't know. Yeah. Go to the Kroger. I don't know. Mm-hmm. So we go through all that. We're going to do a full investigation. So then they called later. Do you have the box with you? All this other stuff. I was like, I don't have the box. It's at home with my husband. So they called him to get details of the box and everything. Mm-hmm. Long story short, they're reimbursing us, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. But I got a lot of response on who stole the baby snacks.
I don't, it's funny because this kind of stuff, this stuff always happens during the holiday season. Mm-hmm. But we're out of that. Yeah. I was telling you when you told me the story, my husband ordered something off of eBay, I guess about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And so it was like a hat, like a beanie, like a skull cap, a knit cap or something like that. And it came, the envelope arrived, but nothing was in it. Mm-hmm. So it would, you get those mailers that have the coupons and all that kind of stuff in it. So it was folded into that. So when I opened it, because, you get an alert that your item has been delivered.
Right.
It was a green envelope with a slit at the bottom with no item. So, of course, I immediately reach out to the seller like, hey, it's not here or whatever. Not sure what you can do. Now, eBay has these seller protection things where they're supposed to be able to reimburse you or replace it or whatever like that. The seller was completely unreasonable. So I also reached out to the Postal Service. They were like, well, it wasn't an insured item, so it's not much we can do. So we ended up having to buy it again because we had no resolution on it. Everybody was pointing fingers at the other person. And still, I don't know if somebody went in my mailbox, if it was the mailman, or if this seller happened to ship this like that.
In a faulty envelope.
Right. And then it fell out somewhere along the way. So, but you can't leave stuff on your porch. You can't have stuff outside your door too long. It's just... It's stealing season, apparently.
It's always stealing season. But I'm back to who stole the baby snacks?
I don't know who would take... I can see them...
What do you want to do with the baby snacks?
I can see them taking the shoes just because...
It's shoes.
But Gerber snacks.
Baby snacks. Not even like the advanced baby snacks. These are like the ones for somebody just starting to walk. So these are the puffs and the yogurt milks.
And I'm glad he didn't have any money or anything like that in there.
Me too.
But like I said, from now on, tell him send you something through Cash App and we done.
Because I don't know. So, if you find out, if you know anything about it, hit us up, hashtag who stole the baby snacks.
Yeah. Well, at least UPS is taking care of it. That's all that you can ask for.
Yes. I'll give y'all an update next week on the final resolution.
All right. Diet update.
Whew.
How was your week? Okay, so... Week 2 of intermittent fasting went pretty well until Friday. We traveled after work, so I didn't get to do my usual eating by 8 o'clock and, resting or whatever that kind of stuff because we were actually on the road. So I didn't eat very late, but I think I ate up until like 8:30 and I didn't eat anything else that night. But Saturday was
gosh.
Oh, God. Because, I waited until noon to eat, but what I ate was just, I ate what they had at the party, cake, that kind of stuff, and then snacking throughout the day, so it wasn't good. And then yesterday was bad too. We went to that seafood place. It's one over there in Columbia off Knox Abbott and one on Broad River, Oceanside.
Yeah.
Yes. So we went there on the way out and picked up some fish and shrimp and stuff like that. And I actually ate when I got home last night, which was after 10 o'clock.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I had intended to do like a 24-hour fast today, but I couldn't do that. I just did what I could do, and I kept it, as simple as possible today. And tomorrow I will, get even more on the bandwagon.
Well, excuse me, no judgment here.
No.
Because I did good, up there in the week and everything. And Saturday night, I was like, I just need a little something to get me over the hump. But then I figured out why I was craving something so bad. And my girl week or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was just like, my girl week. So I was just like, I need something. So, but yesterday, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. I'm on track. I'm, eating my breakfast and everything. I had my eggs with spinach and mushrooms, and cheese and a little bit of chopped turkey in it. So I'm doing pretty good. I had my keto bar, and I'm gonna make fish for dinner.
Yeah. And
my husband's like, nope, nothing healthy for me today. I can't even do it.
I mean, it's like that sometimes. I don't, it's about balance, right?
It is. So I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Like, if I'm going to cook a meal, I just want to cook one meal. I don't want to cook a bunch of different meals.
Right.
So we go around with spaghetti, and then somebody goes cheeseburgers and all kinds of stuff. I was like, I don't want cheeseburgers because we eat beef on keto. So I think I don't want a cheeseburger. So finally, I was like, ooh, Chinese sound good. And I really wanted that place that I told you about. But they have another business by the same name a little bit closer to my house. So we went there.
It wasn't good.
It wasn't the same. I don't know if it was me or if it just really wasn't the same. Then I asked for $2 worth of extra shrimp. I don't think I got it.
Yeah.
Because then me and Bella started fussing about the shrimp because we always share a plate. And she's like, Mommy, you ate all the shrimp. I was like, I paid for all the shrimp. You should have put your money on here.
I think I know money.
You could have gave me $1 and you could have got your own 3 pieces for extra shrimp.
3 pieces.
It's 3 pieces, $1 for 3 pieces of extra shrimp.
Yes.
And I had already got $2 extra worth of shrimp.
So. But luckily, like I said, it's not hard to get back on to the dieting part. It's just a matter of planning it right. So if I stop eating tonight at 8, then I'll be on track to continue to fast as usual.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll start again tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean we'll be fine. Total as of now, I probably put a pound back on over the weekend, but as of Friday, it was like 6.5 pounds or something like that.
I'm still at that 10-pound mark. So, it's like I can't quite get it under there. So I'm not even going to weigh myself anymore this week. Just
that's what I said.
I know I'm retaining water. I can tell just by like my pattern of going to the bathroom isn't the same.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going as frequently. So I can already tell I'm retaining. And I'm drinking the same amount of water. So I'm like, well, if it ain't coming back out, it's still sitting in there. So
yeah. I said the same thing. That I was going to figure it out on... I was going to maybe do it Friday morning after having a pretty decent week. So, oh well.
It is what it is.
All right. Well, tonight's topic.
I'm tired now.
We're not done. Tonight's topic, we said we were going to talk a little bit about money management. Money issues are like one of the biggest concerns when raising a family. Outside of like health and safety, there's money.
There's no money.
There is no money. So I ain't healthy and I ain't safe.
There is no money. So, we work jobs.
Oh God,
we make pretty decent livings.
I work a lot,
and we have no money still. Where does it go?
So I started. The conversation kind of came about when we just talking in as usual, and I'm like, how are people doing it? Or there's always a conversation of how did people do it back in the day? Or well, of course they didn't have the same bills we have now. They don't have, rents or mortgages don't compare.
Daycare,
childcare doesn't compare. These car notes, just all of this kind of extra stuff. And And they, you know, there was always that they made less money or whatever. But I'm always just curious and not looking at anybody in jealousy or anything like that, but just like, how are they doing it? Because sometimes I'll see people that have more kids, and I assume that, you know, they living in a bigger house or they got better cars or whatever like that. You know, that's the assumption. But of course, people are just living in debt. That's really the thing.
I'm glad you said that, because I remember thinking that a few, years ago. Mm-hmm. And was just thinking, like, man, this person has it all together and everything, mm-hmm. right? And then they revealed they were like $20,000 or $30,000 in credit card debt or something.
Look, I can't even get a card that high. So how do you even get that?
Not sure. I can't get one over $800.
I know, right?
Maybe
$1,000. My biggest debt is student loans. That's my biggest debt.
Gosh, yes.
And then outside of that, then there's our car loans and stuff like that. But we don't have a massive amount of debt. We just have a lot of regular bills, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Like our regular bills are pretty high because our rent is high. Our you got
child care expenses are high.
Child care expenses. You got 2 cars.
Insurance
on 3 cars. One is paid for, and then it's just one of those things. So, I ran across an article. I got some literature tonight, but I ran across an article of how you're supposed to manage the cycle of the pay periods, mm-hmm. which everybody has this, this lofty dream of, I'm going to save, what's the golden rule?
10%?
10% of every paycheck. Well, you start with that, and then by week 2, you're taking that 10% back because you got to put gas in the car.
And then you down to like 0.5% that following paycheck.
Right, and you do nothing because everybody knows the top of the money is usually for your housing, and then you got the other stuff. And, we just wanted to find manageable solutions to make us better. Or maybe have a few extra dollars in your pocket outside of, going out here and doing something illegal. Becoming one of the scammers.
I say, if you got to do something strange for a little piece of change.
I'm not doing that. Nothing
if you got to make them holler for
working is strange enough. Okay.
You know what? But it's not just us, and I think it's sometimes I feel like it might be a generational thing. Okay. And the reason I say that is because I remember reading an article a couple of months ago by somebody that's about our same age, in a similar predicament as us, meaning they had 2 kids. She's married, they had 2 kids and everything. Mm-hmm. I think she did freelance writing, and her husband IT or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. They had a house, and they weren't. And this is according to her article. I don't know how true or, untrue her details are or whatever, but assuming she wasn't lying to us, the gist of the story was, hey, we have 2 cars, we have 2 kids in daycare because they were young and not far apart, just like our kids are. Mm-hmm. We got cable, gym, Netflix, student loans, the regular stuff. Nothing ridiculous.
Right.
Like I said, she was a freelance writer. Her husband did IT and everything. And one day, the water heater goes out in the house.
Oh, God, yeah. Been there.
So that set them back. The little bit of money.
Excuse me. Thank you.
The little bit of money that they did have saved went towards that, right? To get that repaired. Mm-hmm. So then a few months later, the husband's contract ends.
Oh, yeah.
And he doesn't get another one immediately. Mm-hmm. So then whatever left they had, it's gone at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So then she's trying to figure out ways, what do we do creatively to keep the family going? Well, then of course the first thing is, cable goes. Yeah. Gym goes.
Of course.
Starbucks goes. Mm-hmm. And I think by now they're down to like 1 car or something like that, mm-hmm. right? The lease was up on 1 car. They turned it back in, didn't keep it. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking this doesn't sound unreasonable as far as a way of living and everything, right? Mm-hmm. But then she gets sick and has to be hospitalized.
Oh, my God.
It's a wrap.
Because now they have no income.
They have nothing at this point. So her husband is picking up odd jobs, in IT as well as he's going along until he get the next major role and everything. Mm-hmm. She was doing as much freelance and writing and stuff like that as she could, but now she's ill. Mm-hmm. And she's, they're like, what do we do? We've tried to do what we can, I think they took one of the kids out of daycare or something like that. She's like, well, I am home. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe we can save